This is their Fire Technology Center training site right here. And we believe that there's a runoff coming from off of their site through the high school campus here, and it picks up and goes through a couple residential neighborhoods and then out to the Bay of Green Bay.
This is a poison worse than arsenic. You can drink 2,500 times more arsenic in your water than you can PFAS based on the current federal regulations on drinking water.
They're talking about, one fish every 6 months, depending on the type of fish. And so the health concerns are significant.
Per capita of cancer in this area is the highest in the state. It's one of the highest populated cancer areas in the state of Wisconsin.
This is a POET system, point of entry treatment system. It comes into the house through the ground, and then it enters 2 different carbon filters. After it passes through that second filter, it then goes through a UV filter. Once these filters get to a point where they need to be changed, that material is then hauled away.
It just doesn't break down in the environment, and it bioaccumulates in humans and in animals. So we have a problem that is going to take generations to solve.
It's unacceptable that anybody in this country has to worry about the safety of their drinking water. We have to start prioritizing the fundamental things that are required to our own humanity. We've evolved into the organization that we are, and we are a good resource for information for other communities across Wisconsin and the country to learn how to organize and advocate for themselves when they're faced with the same crisis, because it is a crisis that is impacting countless communities across Wisconsin.
A little ways north of here, there's a creek that dumps tons of PFAS into the water body behind us every single day. It is highly contaminated. On days when the wind is blowing the right direction and at the right speed, it churns the water up, and we have piles of white PFAS foam on the bay. As a child, I would play in that and make beards out of it on my face, if you can imagine. We didn't know what that was. We all know what it is now. And so here we are fighting to try to keep that from continuing.
We found out very, very early that we were up against a gigantic lobbying group in the state that has so much power that they more or less control who is elected and who's not in the state. And it just baffled me how they could say this to their constituents, that they are siding with the largest manufacturing lobbying group in the state.
All we are interested in is permanent safe drinking water. Not a settlement, not money. We just want permanent safe drinking water for ourselves and for our neighbors.
They're only looking at regulating maybe 4 or 6 or 8 of these compounds. There's thousands and thousands. To try and establish standards for all these different compounds individually, it would never get done. So we really think that they need to start regulating these as a class of compounds, PFAS compounds, because many of them behave the same.
The federal government regulates drinking water standards. That is water that people get from a public utility, but for 1/3 of Wisconsinites, they get their water from private drinking water wells. And right now, Wisconsin has no groundwater standard around PFAS, so that's where our energy and efforts are currently directed, is so that people on private drinking water wells can have better assurance that they're drinking safe water.
No one should have to wake up one day and find out that the water they've been drinking, the water that they've been giving their child to drink, has been contaminated from an industrial source. That's not Wisconsin. That's not what we believe in. Everyone has a right to clean, safe drinking water. Everyone has a right in this state to enjoy rivers and lakes and streams that are pure, that the fish can be caught from, that the deer don't have a hazard warning as we do in this area. That's just wrong. And we have to take a stand on this and say, enough.
Any type of legislation going forward There should not be any carve-outs for any different industries or whoever may be the most powerful at lobbying or whatnot. They have the funds to take care of the problem. They just need to, do what's right, take care of these communities that they've damaged.
Change is never as fast as you want, especially when you think of safe water. You want it immediately for yourself and for your community. I want to urge everyone to get involved because things like PFAS are not going away. And if it is not already in your community, unfortunately, you will probably learn it as soon.
My advice would be to test your private drinking water wells, check with your public utility and ask for the results of PFAS testing. And if they haven't done it, require that they do it, demand that they do it. If you are in the unfortunate position to find that you have been exposed, go to saveourh2o.com and learn more about PFAS. You can reach out to us. You can join the team and become engaged at the state level. We're trying to broaden our network, but really the most important thing is to, prioritize your family safety and know whether or not you've been drinking it, and then educate yourself on it and learn about it and join the advocacy and join the effort.